Hi everyone and welcome to my Feel Good YinYasa flow. If you're not familiar with YinYasa, all it is a style of practice where we do a few yin poses in the beginning while the body is cool to help open up the connective tissue and support the muscles opening, and then followed by a vinyasa style practice after that. Because we are practicing yin, I do recommend having props nearby, especially if you typically use props in yin. Although they're optional, they can be handy to have, such as blankets, blocks, bolsters, straps. And then, you might also want to use a block or a strap during the vinyasa portion of class as well, so they're handy to have nearby. This is an intermediate style class, so please be sure to modify where you need, opt out of things where you need, and again, use those props when you need to use them so that we're honoring our body in practice most of all. The first pose that we're going to come into for this practice is butterfly pose, which is very similar to bound angle pose in our vinyasa style classes. Soles of the feet come together, the knees open wide. And then as you're ready, you'll start to round forward, allowing the head and neck to be heavy. Maybe you are sitting on the edge of a blanket or a block. Perhaps you have support for underneath of the forearms or for under the forehead. Because when we practice yin postures, we aim to find a place where we can become still, where we can become soft, where the muscles aren't working, aren't engaging, aren't straining or forcing. So use the props in whichever way you need to be able to support yourself enough to let go. And you might be able to do that without any props at all, or you might need several. In all of our yin postures that we'll find in this class and in any class where there's yin postures, we aim to find our principles of yin. So first, find your edge. Find the place in the pose where you feel sensation opening, but not an overwhelming amount or any kind of pain at all. Not something that you can't stay with and stick with. Our second principle is to find stillness, so our appropriate edge allows us to be still in the sensation, to investigate and explore it without being overwhelmed or overtaken by it. And our third principle is that we stay, that we hold that stillness for an extended period of time. With each posture, that amount of time can vary a little bit. So find your stillness, find your softness, find your breath as it fills the body and empties it. As the belly inflates and deflates, as the back of the body rises and falls. One of the major challenges in our yin practice is the mental challenge of staying present in stillness. For many of us, it's much easier to stay present and focus when we're moving quickly from one thing to another, because we don't have to focus on one single thing for too long. But in yin, it can become much more challenging to stay present. So the breath becomes a great tool, our focus on our breath, to help anchor us in the present. Perhaps setting an intention here can become an anchor for you as well. And so take a moment in this pose, in this shape, in this space, to guide and set an intention for yourself. Whether it be a physical one, a mental one, an emotional or spiritual one, whatever it is that you need most of all. Whatever makes this practice here and now significant and meaningful to you in some way. And take a deep breath in. Take a long breath out, breathing life into your intention. Holding this pose, our butterfly pose, for 15 more breaths. Resisting the urge to fidget or move, to engage or bring about any kind of tension in the body. Resisting the urge to look around even. Aiming to stay inward with the sensations you feel, where you feel them, how you feel them, what exactly they feel like. Take a few more breaths here. Notice how this pose feels now compared to when you first came into it. If perhaps this pose has increased its depth for you. And just acknowledge that if you have gone deeper in this pose, that it happened from surrendering and allowing the pose to happen, more so than forcing it to happen. That it was gravity, body weight, and your own ability to surrender that brought you deeper into this pose. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Slowly, mindfully start to walk the hands in, rolling up the spine. At the top, grab a hold of the ankles, engage the legs, engage the feet, lift the heart, draw the elbows back. The gaze lifts. And then here, gently spiral the knees together to touch. Take the hands back behind you. Take the feet hips width distance apart. And as you exhale, press down to lift the hips, finding a reverse table. Just counter stretching that butterfly pose in the hips for a moment. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, lower the hips down. Again, you might sit on the edge of a blanket or block as we move into caterpillar pose. So extending both legs straight out in front of you, sitting up tall for a moment, and then as you exhale, once again beginning to round forward as you fold. Because this is a yin posture, try not to stress about alignment, about your legs pointing straight up, your knees or your toes pointing straight up, your spine being straight. Just let your body rest in this shape in whatever way it wants to. Supporting that rest with props as you need, perhaps sitting on a blanket or putting a blanket underneath of the knees, a blanket, block, or bolster on the shins to support under the forehead. Whatever kind of support you need here. Close the eyes if you haven't already. Find your breath. Find your stillness, your softness, your edge. And find the ability to stay with it. how your reaction to these poses is too. It can be very tempting when we're combining yin yoga and vinyasa yoga to move the yin poses to the end, because the muscles are already warm, so physically we can go deeper. The poses might feel more comfortable, more open. But when we do yin yoga at the end of a vinyasa practice, it's really our muscles that are taking over because they're warm, more so than us being able to release our fascia and connective tissue like we aim to do in yin. And so although the pose might feel deeper and more open, because we're not really getting into the fascia generally, then we might not see those benefits last a long time. We'll be open in that moment in the pose, and then our muscles will tighten again gradually. But most of the time, chronic tightness and tension in our muscles and bodies comes from tight adhesions in our fascia and connective tissue. And so more often than not, when we work on releasing the fascia, the muscles are able to open too, and that openness lasts a longer amount of time, beyond just the scope of a single class. But we tend to like to see and feel progress faster, more quickly. And so we do yin poses at the end because we can see that progress. It feels deeper. It feels like we've grown more. But when we do yin at the beginning, it helps support our vinyasa. And although the changes are more subtle, they can become even more powerful and long-lasting. So notice if there's discomfort or aversion to these poses for you. And try to remind yourself that even though the change is subtle, it's powerful and long-lasting. That even though this may be more uncomfortable, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Take a few more breaths here. And perhaps for the next 10 breaths, you might be able to consciously move deeper if your edge has melted away. A few more breaths. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Slowly, mindfully start to roll back up the spine. And at the top, tent the fingers along the sides of the body. Press down into the legs, into the sits bones, into the fingers, and lift the heart. Engage the belly, engage the feet. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And here, bend the knees. Clasp around the shins and just lean back for a moment, lifting the heart, lifting the gaze. Counter stretching the spine from our caterpillar pose. Good. Go ahead and rise up. And here we're going to work to come into our swan pose. So we'll take our right knee forward. We'll work to bring the left leg back behind us. Just like in a pigeon pose in a vinyasa class, you can support underneath of the hips with blankets, with blocks, with bolsters. You can support underneath of your back knee with a blanket. But as you're ready and supported, allow yourself to round forward and fold in. Perhaps with a support underneath of the chest or the forehead or forearms. finding our sleeping swan pose. Letting the body soften into this shape here. And although the shape might physically look similar to a pigeon pose, thinking of this as a totally separate pose because it is. Because we don't need to harp on or focus on alignment when we're resting in a yin pose and the muscles are soft. When there's no pulling, forcing, or engaging, we can allow the body to fully soften and let go. Because of that, things might not be perfectly straight or perfectly aligned, and they're not necessarily supposed to be. Find your breath, feel the back body rise and fall with it, fill and empty with it. Notice if the mind is wandering off to other places. Just keep returning to the breath, returning to your intention, to the sensations that you feel in the body. If you're playing music, perhaps focusing on that. Whatever it is that keeps you anchored to being present. Take 20 more breaths here. Softening the jawline, the forehead, the eyelids, fingers and toes. Even the smallest, subtlest places in the body. A few more breaths here. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Slowly start to walk the hands back in. Once you get to the top, just like we've been doing, engage the legs, tent into the fingers, lift the heart. Maybe you even reach the arms overhead, squeezing the thighs towards each other. Breath in, breath out. Gently take the hands down. Lean off to your right side to bring your left leg around. Separate the feet out, mats width distance apart, and then slowly just start to windshield wiper the knees side to side a few times. And we want the feet to be mats width distance apart so that there's enough room for the knees to come all the way down if they're able to, just to help counter the hips from our swan pose. And a couple more to each side. Good. And then as you're ready, begin to bring your left knee forward, bringing the right leg back, taking just as much time and care to set up your swan pose on this side as you did on the first, folding in once you're ready, and being okay with this side being very different than the first. Our hips can be very asymmetrical and different to one another. And poses like our swan poses can be a really good indicator of that. Find your edge. Find stillness. Find softness. And stay. Whereas in Vinyasa, the progress, growth, and change comes from sustained effort and practice of movement, strength. In Yin, our growth, progress, and change also comes from sustained practice, from the practice of surrendering, allowing, and softening. And it's for that reason that we sometimes refer to Vinyasa and Ashtanga and more power-filled forms of yoga as being yang, because they're the counterbalance to our yin. And they go hand in hand with one another and create a really beautiful balance between each other. Take 20 more breaths here. Notice if your edge is melted away and you're able to deepen. Notice if your edge has become too great and you need to adjust mindfully to back off. Because although we resist moving, fidgeting, wiggling, we always give ourselves space to adjust for those reasons if we need to. We never force ourselves to stay in a painful or overwhelming situation. We allow ourselves the opportunity to deepen if it arises and the edge melts away, making space for more. A few more breaths here. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Slowly, mindfully start to walk the hands in. At the top, tighten the fingers, lift the heart, engage the legs, the feet, the belly. Maybe reach the arms up overhead as well. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, lower the hands down if they're lifted. Lean off to the left side. Bring the right leg around. Lean back, separate the feet, and start to windshield wiper the knees side to side. And a couple more to each side, really allowing the hips to counter. Good. And then here, go ahead and cross at the shins. Come to seated in Sukhasana. Reach the arms up overhead, look up. And as you exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Good. Inhale to center. And as you exhale, begin to roll over the shins, coming into tabletop as we begin to move. And as you come into your tabletop, stack the shoulders over the wrists, the knees under the hips. Inhaling drops the belly to cow pose, look up. Exhale rounds the spine to cat. Inhale to cow, drop the belly. Exhale to cat. Inhale cow. Exhale cat. Inhale to neutral. And as you exhale, tuck the toes under, lifting up and back to down dog. And just notice for a moment how this first down dog feels compared to how it might usually feel in a class. If maybe it feels a little more open, a little more strong, more available. And breath in, breath out. As you inhale, round the spine, lift the heels high, roll forward to plank. Look forward when you get there. Breath in. Exhale, up and back to down dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Look as you arrive there. Exhale, up and back. Once more, inhale, forward. As you exhale, shift forward to lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Inhale, bends the knees. Exhale, steps or hops the feet. Inhale to lengthen at the top of the mat. Exhale to fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise up, the arms reach. Exhale, hands to the heart, Samastitihi. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. As you inhale, the arms reach. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to lengthen. As you exhale, the left foot steps way back, rising up to a crescent lunge, high lunge. Take a moment to adjust through the feet and ankles here. Taking a deep breath in. Breath out. As you inhale, straighten the front leg, reach through the fingers. And as you exhale, bend the elbows and bend back into the front knee. Inhale to straighten the arms and legs. Exhale to bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Pause here, take the hands to the heart. Lean forward and start to shift forward to find warrior 3. The left leg lifts, reaching through the left toes, reaching forward through the crown of the head and the heart. Relax your right toes, keep a micro bend in the right knee. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. As you exhale, take the hands down, step the left foot way back, drop the knee, rising up to Anjaneyasana, our low lunge. Breath in here. Breath out. As you inhale, take the hands to the heart. As you exhale, lean forward and twist to the right, maybe hooking the left elbow across. Maybe you take the left hand to the mat or to a block and reach the right arm up overhead instead. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, come back to center, re-extend the arms, look up. And as you exhale, lower the hands down, lift the back knee, stepping back to a high plank. Inhale here. As you exhale, roll to the outer edge of the right foot, find a side plank, Vashisthasana. You can either keep the ankles staggered or you can stack the left ankle on top of the right if you wish. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, come back to center. Drop the left knee down, pivot the shin behind you. Find a kneeling side plank on the left side. Deep breath in, breath out. So you inhale, shift forward to lift the right leg, finding a kneeling half moon. Really reach out through the toes and through the heel, reach up through the fingertips, take a breath. And then as you inhale, maybe you bend your right leg and reach back to grab a hold of the foot or ankle. If you do, maybe you kick back into the hand to open the heart to the side. Keep firming into your bottom left hand for support here, gripping into the fingertips. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to gently re-extend. Close off, coming back to plank. Inhale here, exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, steps the right foot forward, returning to a crescent lunge. And inhale at the top. And as you exhale, take the hands to the heart, lean forward and twist to the right again. Same option to either hook the left elbow across or to find a T in the arms with the left hand on a block or on the mat. Breathe wherever you are, twisting through the belly and center of the body. Inhale, exhale. As you inhale, come back to center, reach up through the arms. As you exhale, step forward to chair pose, Utkatasana. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale to rise to stand, finding Samastitihi. Deep breath in, breath out. As you inhale, the arms reach. Exhale to fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale to lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, step just the right foot way back, come up to a crescent lunge. Take a few moments to find your pose, to adjust through the feet, through the hips, to reach up through the arms and spiral the pinky fingers in towards each other. As you inhale, the front leg straightens. As you exhale, bend the front knee and bend the elbows to a cactus arms. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And pause here. Take the hands to the heart. Lean forward, shift forward. Find warrior 3. Virabhadrasana 3. Actively reach back through the right toes. Keep pressing down into the left foot without gripping the left toes or lifting them off the mat. Deep breath in. Breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, lower the hands, step the right foot way back, drop the knee. Come up to Anjaneyasana, our low lunge. Take a few moments here to adjust this pose as well. And as you're ready, take the hands to the heart, lean forward and twist to the left. Same option to find a prayer twist or to take your right hand down to the mat. Keep drawing the shoulder blades back, the heart forward. Deep breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to center, reach the arms. As you exhale, lower the hands, lift the back knee, step back to plank. Inhale. As you exhale, roll to the outer edge of the left foot, find side plank, Vashisthasana. Your choice, whether the ankles are staggered or stacked. Breathe where you are. Breath in. Exhale to center. Drop the right knee down. Pivot the shin behind. Kneeling side plank. Take a moment here just to really press into the outer edge of the left foot, finding length along the left side body. Stay here or shift forward to lift the left leg to a kneeling half moon. Reach through the toes, reach through the fingers, reach through the heart and crown of the head. Then maybe you bend the left knee and reach back for the foot or ankle, kicking back into the hand to open the heart to the side. And keep gripping and firming into your bottom right hand and fingers. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale to re-extend. Exhale to close off, returning to plank. Inhale. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. 2 breaths here. And as you inhale, the left foot steps forward, returning to your crescent lunge. Breath in, breath out. Take your hands to the heart, lean forward and start to twist to the left, maybe hooking the elbow across again. Keep drawing the shoulder blades back and heart forward. And stay active in your back leg, especially your back thigh. Keep lifting from the back of the right thigh. Left knee is still over the ankle. Take a breath. Inhale, unwind back to center. Reach the arms. Exhale. Inhale, steps forward to chair pose, Utkatasana. Breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, rise to stand, finding Samasthiti. Take a couple breaths here to reset, to reground, to regroup. Good. As you're ready here, start to shift weight into your right foot, opening your left knee and hip out to the left, and beginning to find your foot placement for Vrikshasana tree pose. So the left heel can stay at the right ankle, can come to the right calf or the right inner thigh. If taking half lotus in tree poses in your practice, you're welcome to do that as well, taking the outer edge of the left foot towards the right hip crease and allowing the knee to open down towards the floor. Your hands can be wherever allows you to balance best here, whether that's at the hips, at the heart, overhead. You might even take your left arm, flip the palm behind you and bring it around the back like it's reaching for the left foot if your foot is in half lotus. Even if it's not in half lotus, you can still take that option with the arm if you wish. Breathe. Two more breaths. Good. Take your hands to the hips from wherever they were, and then take your left hand and make a peace sign with it. From wherever your left foot is, try to grab a hold of your left big toe with your peace fingers, spiraling the knee up towards the ceiling with the arm on the inside. Now you can stay right here the whole time, or you'll start to track the left knee out to the left. You can stay here with the knee bent, or you might extend the left knee and left leg out to the left. Maybe the right arm comes out to the right. And stay active in both legs. Try to not to lock out the knees. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. So you inhale, whether your leg is straight or bent, track it forward. And work to let go of your big toe and sweep the left leg back behind you, finding a brief warrior 3. Inhale. As you exhale, lower the hand, step the left foot way back behind you, spiral the back heel down, And then begin to rise up to warrior two. Inhale here. As you exhale, straighten the front leg and reverse, finding reverse triangle. Breath in. Breath out. So you inhale, rise up and over, finding our full triangle, Trikonasana. Maybe a block is under the right hand. And keep pressing through the outer edge of the back foot to find that length along the left side of the waist, just like we did in our kneeling side plank. Breath in. Breath out. So you inhale, bend into your front knee, working to come up into side angle pose. You can keep the right hand on the mat or on the block or on your ankle, or you might bring the right forearm up to the right thigh instead. And reach the left arm overhead and spiral the left pinky finger in and down to really reach out through the shoulder and fingers. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale to reverse your warrior two. Stay in the bend of the front knee. Inhale here, lengthen the right side. As you exhale, mindfully cartwheel the hands down. We meet in downward facing dog, maybe moving through a three-legged vinyasa, maybe not. Maybe skipping vinyasa altogether. Deep breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. In your down dog, take a couple of steps forward and out wider with the feet, and bring your hands closer towards each other. Now here, keep pressing into your left hand and work to thread the right arm underneath of you towards the outside of the left leg. Maybe you grab a hold of the left leg, maybe you don't. If you do grab a hold of the leg, pull at that connection with the leg to twist. Either way, soften both of your knees some to keep lifting the hips up and back. Keep pressing the mat down and away from you with the left hand. Twist through the belly, the ribs, the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Breath out. Gently release the right hand back next to the left. Bend the knees, look forward, and step or hop the feet to the outsides of the hands, sinking the hips down to Malasana, our low squat. Hands can be at the heart, staying lifted here the whole time, or you might take the hands down and gently round forward. So whether you're in a more yin-like variation of this pose or a more yang-like variation is up to you. Either way, we'll just be here for a couple of breaths. Relaxing the grip of the toes, the face, the jaw. Good. From wherever you are, lift the torso back up if it's lowered. Start to press down into the feet, just lift an inch or so out of your Malasana. And then press down to lift all the way up. Reach up. Exhale, Samasti Tahi, hands to the heart, heel, toe the feet back in towards each other. And breathe here. Good. Here, as you're ready, start to shift weight into your left foot, opening the right knee and hip out to the right, and beginning to find your foot placement for tree pose, whether it's above or below the knee. Maybe you're taking that half lotus variation. Maybe it works for you on one side and not on the other. And same options with the hands, wherever is best for you. Maybe taking that right arm behind the low back. Either way, stand tall and breathe. Find your drishti, your focal point. That fixed, unmoving thing that you can keep your gaze fixated on to help balance. Two more breaths. Inhale. As you exhale, take your hands to your hips. Make a peace sign with your right hand and work to grab a hold of your right big toe with your peace fingers. The arm is on the inside and the right knee is forward. You can stay here the entire time through this sequence, or you'll open the knee out to the right. Stay here with the knee bent or extend the leg out to the right, maybe the left arm out to the left, your choice. Wherever you are, be there and breathe there. Relax the grip of the left toes. Keep a little bend in both knees. Inhale. Exhale. Work to track the right leg back to center, whether the knee is bent or not. From wherever you are, let go of the toe, straighten the leg, and sweep it back behind you for a brief warrior 3. Inhale here. As you exhale, take the hands down, step way back, spiral the back heel down, and begin to rise up and open to warrior 2. Front foot is facing forward, your back foot slightly turned in. Inhale. Exhale, straightens the front leg, reversing your triangle, lengthening the left side body. Inhale here. Exhaling up and over all that space to our full triangle, Utthita Trikonasana. Block under the left hand is a great tool here. A great way to add support and stability in space. Breathe. As you inhale, bend back into the front knee. Begin to come up the thigh to find side angle pose, or keep your left hand down if you'd rather. Reach the right arm over the ear, spiral the pinky finger in and down. Keep grounding and rooting into the outer edge of the back foot. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale to warrior 2. Exhale to reverse or exalt your warrior 2. Stay in the bend of the front knee for a moment longer. Inhale. Exhaling to meet in down dog. Maybe moving through a 3-legged vinyasa with the left leg lifted. Take a couple breaths. Here, find that shorter, wider stance in your down dog, taking the feet out to the edges of the mat, taking the hands together to touch. This time planting into the right hand and working to thread the left arm underneath of you for the outside of the right leg. Soften the knees. If you have that connection with the leg, pull gently at it to twist. If you can't grab the leg, just reach towards it, twisting through the belly, finding a little more core work to twist. Another breath. Inhale. As you exhale, gently release the left hand forward again. Soften the knees and step or hop the feet to the outsides of the hands. Find your malasana. Whether you're lifted, whether you're folding in, it's completely up to you. Breathe wherever you are, though. Breath in, breath out. If you were folding in, go ahead and lift the torso back up. As you're ready, press down into the feet to lift just an inch out of your malasana. And then press down to lift the rest of the way up. Reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take the feet back in towards one another. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, start to come all the way down, bending the knees deeply, lifting the heels. You can take the hands onto the mat for support or onto blocks. You can take the hands up to the thighs or knees or at the heart. Maybe reach the arms overhead, finding our toe balance. And breathe wherever you are. Find that drishti again for balance. Two more breaths, you can. Good. Inhale. As you exhale, come down to seated. Keep the knees bent and start to walk all the way down, laying down on the back. And as you come down, extend the arms along the sides of the body. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, press into the feet to lift the hips to bridge pose. And maybe you interlace fingers underneath of you here to go a little deeper into the shoulders and upper back. Maybe you keep both feet on the mat, or maybe you extend the right leg up overhead. And especially if you lift the right leg, really focus on pressing down into the left foot to lift the right leg higher. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, release the fingers if they're interlaced. Slowly start to roll the spine back down, leaving the right leg lifted if it was. Lift the right leg up if it wasn't already. And then gently extend the right leg all the way out in front of you. Press the heel into the mat. Draw the left knee in towards your left arm. Inhale here. As you exhale, press the left knee across the body to find a twist. If it would be more comfortable for you to slide your right knee underneath of the left, finding a more traditional supine twist, you can always take that variation instead. Deep breath in. Breath out. Two more. As you inhale, come back to center. Hug the knees into the chest for a moment. Neutralize the spine. Good, and then take the feet back down. Knees point towards the ceiling. Feet are hips width distance apart. Arms are along the sides of the body. Inhale. As you exhale, press down to lift into bridge pose. Maybe you interlace fingers underneath of you, trying to take the opposite thumb on top this time. Perhaps the left leg lifts. Reaching through the left toes, pressing down through the right foot. Breathing wherever you are. Breath in. Breath out. Release the hands if they're interlaced. Keep the left leg lifted if it is, but slowly roll the spine down either way. Once it touches, if your left leg wasn't already lifted, go ahead and lift it. Reach the heel forward. Press it into the mat. Draw the right knee in towards your right underarm. And then press the right knee across the body to find your twist. Same option to slide the left knee underneath of the right for that other supine twist if you'd rather. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, gently come back to center, hugging the knees in one last time, neutralizing the spine for a moment. And then beginning to release the body down to wherever it is you would like to take Shavasana today. Whether that be a traditional variation with the arms long and the legs long, or maybe a different shape of the arms or the legs. Perhaps your legs are up a wall if you're near one, or maybe you're seated in meditation instead. Whatever seems most comfortable and comforting for you here and now, find that. Settle into it. With nowhere left to go but to just be here. Not finding yin, not finding yang. Just finding rest. Gently begin to take your deepest breath in so far. And your longest, slowest breath out. Hugging the knees into the chest, perhaps gently rocking side to side. Rolling off to whichever side feels most comfortable or inviting to you. Allowing your top hand to rest at your heart as you arrive there. And just taking a moment to take a moment here to thank yourself, your body and breath. But even more than that, thanking yourself for making the time to practice, to make time for the effort, for the ease, for the movement and the stillness, and the balance between the two. Knowing that regardless of what happened for you or didn't happen for you, that alone is always enough. And with that same hand, gently press yourself up to seated, bringing the hands at the heart as you do. And I just wanted to end this practice by extending my own gratitude towards you for sharing your time, your practice, your effort, and your ease with me. And I hope that you can carry any benefits you may have with you from either half of this practice with you for however long you may need them. And until I see you on your mat again, namaste.